Alright, so picture this. It's 2026, you're scrolling through your feed and suddenly you see it, the iPhone 18 Pro. And honestly, Apple might finally be doing enough to make even 17 Pro owners question their life choices. I've been digging through the latest leaks and whispers, and some of this stuff is surprisingly bold for Apple. So let's break down everything that's coming and why you might want to hold onto your money just a little bit longer. The first big shift is in the design. Apple doesn't seem to be reinventing the outer shape, but the back glass? That's where things get interesting. Reportedly, it's going semi-transparent. Not completely see-through like those modded iPhone shells people used to do, but enough so you can actually see hints of the MagSafe ring and the battery underneath. And I'm torn, because part of me thinks it's going to look ridiculously cool, and the other part of me is imagining every tiny mark on the inside driving me insane. But hey, at least it's different, and Apple rarely goes different. Something else that's changing is the color lineup. Instead of recycling last year's shades, Apple's apparently going for a deep burgundy red, a coffee brown finish, and a brand new purple that isn't the same one from the 14 Pro days. Honestly, the renders make that red look insanely good. If the 17 Pro colors didn't tempt you, the 18 series might. On the front, the dynamic island isn't disappearing yet, but it's shrinking. Depending on who you ask, it could be around a third smaller than the current size. Face ID hardware keeps getting miniaturized, and we're basically at the point where Apple can squish everything down without sacrificing reliability. The selfie camera will likely stay the familiar 18-megapixel sensor, but the reduced cutout will definitely make full-screen video, gaming, and landscape content feel less interrupted. Now, one of the upgrades that actually made me raise an eyebrow is satellite 5G. Not the emergency SOS thing, we've had that. I'm talking full-on connectivity, internet, calls, anywhere you can see the sky. Imagine boarding a flight, keeping your phone in normal mode after takeoff, and actually browsing the web without paying airline Wi-Fi prices. If Apple pulls this off in a reliable way, it's going to be a game changer. To support that, Apple might slightly thicken the chassis. Not enough for you to feel much of a difference, but just enough space to bump the battery capacity. The 17 Pro Max is already past 5,000 mAh, but the 18 Pro Max could creep up to around 5,200 or 5,300. Nothing crazy, but combined with efficiency upgrades, it should translate to noticeably better endurance. And speaking of efficiency, Apple is rumored to be bringing its new C2 modem into the Pro models this year. Their in-house modem on the 16 series was already faster and more battery-friendly than the Qualcomm ones, so a next-gen version is only going to widen that gap. It's a smart move, especially with satellite connectivity coming into the picture. The iPhone 18 Pro is also getting a jump to the A20 Pro chip built on TSMC's new 2-nanometer process. That means more power, better efficiency, and yes, probably more heat. But the vapor chamber cooling that debuted in the 17 Pro series was clearly Apple preparing for this transition. So expect a noticeable performance boost without your phone turning into a mini toaster. Then there's the camera. Apple is reportedly teaming up with Samsung for a brand new main sensor that uses a 3-layer stacked design. That might not sound dramatic, but the result is better low-light shots, cleaner noise levels, and richer dynamic range. And on top of that, Apple is adding a variable aperture system. Basically, the camera will be able to physically adjust how much light hits the sensor, just like a proper DSLR lens. Bright sunny day, the aperture tightens to avoid blowing out highlights. Shooting at night, it opens up to pull in more light. This is a massive change for iPhone photography. Rounding things off, Apple is reworking the capture button. We don't know the full details yet, but it's supposed to be more intuitive and easier to use for zoom, exposure, and Apple Intelligence shortcuts. The current version is decent, but if they refine the feel and responsiveness, it could become a genuinely useful tool instead of a gimmick. So that's everything we know so far. And honestly, it's shaping up to be one of the biggest generational jumps Apple's made in a while. A new camera system, a new chip, new colors, satellite 5G, bigger battery, and a fresh design twist. If you were thinking of upgrading early, this might be the year to wait. Let me know in the comments if you're planning to go for the 18 Pro or if you're sticking with what you've got. And if you want to stay updated with all the latest Apple news, leaks, and comparisons, hit subscribe, tap the bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.